Welcome, Capricorn. This is Regina from Pacific Tarot, and I've pulled for you the Empress card as your overall energy for the new moon in Taurus. This is absolutely about the way that you express your wisdom in the world. And right behind the Empress, an image of the High Priestess came through in my meditation. And that High Priestess, her blue robes, this is also relevant to Yamoya, turned into a blue flower from the underneath that was poised and turned towards the sun. And the blueness of the core of that flower turned into a beautiful eye. And that eye turned into an eye that began opening and closing and winking at me. So this was what came through. And I see this as about your clarity of expression. This new moon in Taurus is poised generally in the area of your creativity, the way you gain pleasure with your peers, the way you produce, create, recreate, and procreate. And so this idea that you have a story to tell, you have something to share, and that you are recognized for the love that you give. This is a general reading, Capricorn. It isn't going to resonate for all of you. If you're interested in a personal reading, some information for that is in the description box below. Thank you to all of you new and familiar with me. I appreciate the time that you're taking with me. So I have already pulled an oracle card from the Yogic Path deck, and it is Vishuddha, which is the word or the name of the throat chakra. I'm going to initially read the reversed meaning interpretation of this beautiful card. Sahara Rose's deck is absolutely stunning and such a wealth of inspiration for me. Vishuddha reads, is there something you know you need to say, but you can't muster up the courage to say it? Have you been waiting to get to a specific point to begin sharing your truth, but every day that moment feels further and further away? Let me tell you something, that moment is now. It's time for you to begin expressing the divinity that exists inside of your soul through the gifts the universe has blessed you with. Whether it's through words, movement, food, art, or music, it's time to express yourself and let your truth echo. I want to include that there are so many myriad forms of expression, and what immediately came to mind was a brilliant woods crafts person, a carpentry, and perhaps that's because we're building a chicken coop on our property. So I will return to this card at the end of the reading and read the upright message. For now, your social identity, lo and behold, the High Priestess who was winking at me earlier. This is a beautiful flow of your willingness to hold a kind of communal wisdom that you have gained, not only through your own experiences, but the sharing of those experiences with the collective, whoever that collective is for you. If you live in community, if you work in community, there is a presence you bring, an energy you bring that others want to consult, that they want to be advised by, that they recognize the tremendous history, wisdom that you hold. And this is something that is a result of your ability to reflect over your life in profound ways and to understand that you have gained a tremendous amount of self-knowledge. This self-knowledge is what you have spun into the gold of your wisdom. This is what you hold in a kind of silence, because you're also well aware that this is not information or wisdom that everyone can hear or is interested in. It's only for a few, it's only for those few who seek sincerely. In the first house, we have the Six of Swords. So yeah, this feels like transition to me. This feels like less about traveling, although it certainly can relate to that. I do see you moving through space and time as you explore these new energies of empowerment that you're experiencing. But I also see this desire to accept the challenges, particularly of these social times, but also of the trials and tribulations of your life. Never a dull moment, always some change happening, and your willingness to process that gives you the desire for some peace, some resolution, which you find in acceptance of the necessity for the challenges that you're experiencing. You're understanding that you've manifested these changes that you're experiencing and the transition into and out of old states of being gives you that sense of peace and wholeness that you've been looking for, eases the frustration that you experienced when you felt blocked, stymied, or unable to participate in a way that you would have liked. In the fourth house, your soul, your roots, your family. The Chariot card is really about the way you keep that sacred space in your inner temple, the temple of your body, the temple of your soul. This is you learning to continue to set boundaries, not only with others, but with yourself. The discipline necessary to keep going, doing things that you may not want to do, but that you know are for your ultimate benefit. This includes those relationships or experiences you've cordoned off, not because you wouldn't love to help a friend that you've always helped or spend time taking in more experiences, but it's because you know ultimately you can't create anything without putting the labor in that it is required. So this is really about your intense focus. And for some of you, your entire home or the place you work is your home. And you create that in such a way as to give yourself maximum efficiency, productivity, to eliminate all distractions from your focus, your concentration. In the seventh house of your relationships, the Page of Swords is telling me that you really are not in a place where you know what you want when it comes to significant others. You are still observing, witnessing your own experiences, and recognizing the limitation of what you know. What you know, how you've experienced your relationships in the past is no longer relevant to you. You're not trying to repeat, renew, or recapture old romantic memories, even of friends and family. Instead, you realize that you haven't known what you were doing, that you really weren't reflecting what you desired or what you wanted. You didn't know what you wanted. You didn't know what to claim, even of yourself. So this feels like a bit of a stasis, a bit of a place where you're watching, learning, growing, using your experiences, I would imagine, of creativity, a really strong place in this new moon energy where you are fueling yourself, motivating your search, your exploration of new experiences in love, new agreements, new ideas, new capacity to build with others. This also focuses on the spoken word. Your voice is a talent and a skill. your words, and not simply the words, but the expression of your words or images or talents, even as a chicken coop is your masterpiece. You are really focusing in on a way to do it differently than before, and that includes simplifying it. I'm going to pull a crystal oracle for you, Capricorn, and I have pulled the Dioptus. I can never say this word because I don't know it. And the key word is love. I am love, and love is me. And I am sort of reflecting between these two different expressions of love, of the internalization of love, the expression of love, and this place in your significant relationships where you admit to a limitation in your experience of the kind of love that you imagine would suit you. And in the interim, you are filling that with self-love. And let's turn it back on its unusual sea green. I love it. I'm going to clarify the Six of Swords in the first house with the Ten of Staffs. Yeah, you carry a lot, you do a lot. It's hard for you to stop doing a lot. This is what I'm hearing. Even as you have for perhaps years been trimming back on your experiences in the world, on your responsibilities or tasks, obligations, it still feels like too much. And that is in part how I see you not only working towards a dramatic change of the state of being overburdened, but really looking for solutions in other models, other places, other communities. I see you exploring how a change in your sense of responsibility could look, how you find retreat from that experience of overwhelm. How do you relax? How do you take a break? It feels to me like an open question, like you're not seeing a way out or through. Even what gives you solace and relaxation seems to be burdened with a lot of work, a lot of labor, particularly for those of you that are creatives that cordon off time to create and yet are immediately faced with an overwhelm of work that you see that is required to bring your expression to some kind of a fruition or fulfillment. In the fourth house, the Chariot is clarified by the Moon card. This is really about the way that you are launching into your subconscious. And for some of you, that is your meditation. That can be therapy or some kind of counseling or advisement that you're seeking. For many of you, it is how you are utilizing your dream life, your journaling activities to uncover those shameful, dishonorable places within you. It takes so much courage, so much focus, and so much energy. I see now that this is a source of drain and pull on your considerable energies. So you, with many obligations and responsibilities in your daily life, are making sure to give yourself the space to dream. For some of you, it is just straight up rest, sleep. But I guarantee that for many of you, that sleep is incredibly fruitful. And even though there is absolute rest that your body is receiving, sometimes you've gone so many places in your dream life, in your sleep, that you feel more energized, more directed, clearer when you wake up. In the 7th house, the Page of Swords is clarified by the 6 of Staffs. It's interesting as you kind of release your idea about the way your connected relationships should work, have worked, are working. You've really sought to implement consensual agreements with others and to negotiate those agreements in all your relationships. You're really stripping it down to basics, making sure that you put forward what you desire, what you are claiming in any experience of connecting, so that that becomes a place where you are no longer hiding or covering up what you desire based on a sense of not being worthy or not being deserving. And this is very real for many Capricorns who, by all external measures, are the captains of the ship. Sometimes that has masked a sense of unworthiness, and you are dealing with that as you have unmasked it for yourself by really taking each relationship on its own merits, carving out agreements in clarity, and seeing where it leads. And as a result of that, you are excelling in your commitments to others, to the collective, to your community. You're so carefully and methodically establishing relationships and all exchanges of energy in your life that you are ensuring the success of any project you're a part of. And what's so beautiful is that you are being recognized for that. This almost feels uncomfortable to some of you to receive this kind of recognition without saying but or if, well, accept that. There's a modesty. There's also a sincere shyness underneath that capable reserve. But the regard of your coworkers means more to you than anything else. That is a form of love and productive love that you really honor, and you see your growth in that. In the 10th house, the High Priestess is clarified by the Warrior of Staffs. This feels like Mercury has just gone into Aries. It's recovering its retrograde shadow period. And so I do feel that even in your silence, in your retreat, in your reserve, you are gaining a lot of clarity. And that is helping you to establish your next steps with competence, with a sense of competence. Your energies are beginning to lift because I do feel that the promise is weighing upon you. However, the energy to match your vision, it has been flagging for a while. And that is now unlocking in many ways. You're finding the vehicle to express your heart's wisdom. And now, Capricorn, we're going to look at Vishuddha, the throat chakra, the card for that, and we're going to look at the upright interpretation and see if it's clarifying in any way. You came to this world to speak and express, and you're doing so beautifully. Now's the time to let your unique vibration shine. Speak your truth, write your message, sing your soul's language, express your innate art. This is a wonderful time to begin any communication-related project, such as a book, podcast, or business, or to take your existing project to the next level. The throat chakra reminds us to speak our truth, so continue to share what's on your mind with your closest relationships. Remember that it is just as essential to listen as it is to speak, and great communication skill comes in mastering both. Listen to those around you to deepen relationships and listen to those who inspire you to deepen wisdom. Know that most communication is not just in the words spoken, but rather in their expression. This is the time for you to craft your own. If you've enjoyed this content, Capricorn, check out more here. And until next time, namaste.